Hi, I'm Scott.
And I'm Michele, and we're the owners of the Main Street Mouse.
And this is the Main Street Mouse Weekly Podcast, show number 173 for January 13th, 2025.
For your safety, remain seated with the doors closed, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while the tram is moving. And supervise your children.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Dead men tell no tale.
I know not who you are, nor how I came to find you. But may I just say, Aye.
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
And it's time to go, as Peter Pan says. Time to start the show. Time to go to start the show.
Here.
Okay, we're just going to start then.
Here we go.
It's time to go on the show. There you go.
Okay.
That works.
Hi, everyone. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. How's everybody doing out there?
Hope everybody had a decent weekend.
Hope so.
We are sitting here in chilly Florida.
It is a little bit cold, yes. It's not as cold as up north, though.
No. We have cold weather this week with like the lows and what, like the 30s or 40s?
30s, low 30s, and there's a potentially overnight, at least one night, I think, where it could possibly get into the freezing zone. So if it rains, we might wake up to a little bit of snow, but then it would be melted as soon as the sun hits it.
Yeah, it's true. I would love to see snow.
I think it'd be great. If it snows during the day, we are going to be at Magic Kingdom like that to get photos, because that's something that not a lot of people will have.
No, did you ever see the pictures of Disneyland Paris in the snow?
Yes, it looks fantastic.
And that's a lot of snow. That's not
lot.
just a little dusting.
Right.
That's like snow.
No, yeah, that would be, I don't think we would get that ever here.
No, but I would love to see. It's weird because, we're used to doing theme parks when it's hot.
Right.
Or when it's this kind of cold, it's like not terrible. But being like in your snow boots and like gloves and winter hats.
So you put your Uggs on.
Yeah. But with socks probably.
Oh.
And yeah, it would be a whole new experience to go to the parks when it's like snowing.
It would be crazy to actually be there when that's happening, because it doesn't happen. I mean, we've been here 10 years.
11
years this year. We've never seen it snow.
No.
So I know one time my dad lived in Vegas everybody should know that I've talked to about that. My dad lived in Las Vegas, and I went out to visit him one time at Christmas time, and it snowed when I was out there, and it never snows. It's the desert, but it snowed for like an hour. But as the snow hit the ground, instantly turned to water, because it was just, the ground was still warm, but it was just a freak temperature drop. It rained at the same time, because it doesn't ever rain there, and we saw snow, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, so like Florida snow would be fun, and not just the soap snow like they have at Disney.
In Michigan, we're just used to snow.
Yeah, my dad said yesterday that they have a lot of snow up there still.
No.
See, I love it.
I know you do, but I don't want to be in snow.
Okay.
I don't miss seeing the snow is nice. I don't want to drive in the snow, because everybody forgets how to drive.
Well, it's the same thing down here when it like rains. People don't know how to drive.
Right, exactly. It's like you completely forget until that happens. It's funny though, because we're cold down here, and you see the Floridians go to the parks and they've got the jackets on, they got the long pants on and all that, and then you can always tell the family who's from up north, because they're all in shorts, they're all in short sleeve shirts, and they're going to the water park because
yeah, it is weird, because you see there's always those people that are like on vacation and like we are in Florida. I am going to dress like I'm in Florida no matter what it's doing outside.
Well, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but the other day we went to the Magic Kingdom, and we left the Magic Kingdom. We were taking the monorail, and we were passing the Floridians pool, and you saw like 9 lifeguards out there, not one person in the pool.
No, the lifeguards are just standing on the side, shooting a breeze,
Exactly.
And there's nobody in the pool.
They were killing time until somebody decided to get in the pool, or the pool closed for the day, whichever.
It has to be easy work days for them when it's like that. But then, do you remember?
It'd be so boring though.
Was it before Christmas? Yeah, when we went to right before we got on the Treasure, we stayed the night at the Contemporary,
Yes.
and we went over to Wilderness Lodge.
Right.
Oh,
that's
do you remember there was like 2 people in the pool,
Yep.
and it was cold.
I felt bad for the cast members because the lifeguards are sitting there, and they have to have their bathing suits on, and they have to have their pool gear on, and they're just sitting there, and the wind off the water makes it even more cold. I mean, if you go to some of the resorts where they don't have water sitting right by the pool, probably a little bit warmer, but right there off the water with the cool breeze coming in, and they're sitting by the pool already.
No, it was. I couldn't believe it. And I'm watching these people swim, and
steam is coming off the top of the water.
And I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? All good and well until you have to get out, and then you have to grab a towel. I hate that. It's the worst thing when you get out of a pool or something and you're so cold. It takes forever to warm up,
and you have to run, and there's no place to really go. I mean, you can go stand in the lobby dripping wet. It's like, and the hot tub is even closer to the lake.
Yeah, I know.
So you'd have to actually go away from the building to get into the hot
Even
tub.
if you went in a hot tub, when you got out, you still would be cold because it was chilly that night.
It was chilly that night, and the hot tub would be worse because your body temperature would, of course, rise with the heat, the hotter water, and then getting out of that and hitting that cold shock. That would be rough.
No, I remember when we were kids, people would do that, like sit in the hot tub and then jump right in the cold pool. Too much for me.
I remember when the boys were small going to your mom and dad's because they have the big pool, and no matter what time of year it was, no matter how cold it was, they had no problem jumping in. And then as they got older, it was like, no, I'm not swimming.
No, we're not. Or tell Papa to turn the heater on in the pool.
Exactly. When it hits 90, then I'll jump in the pool.
Okay, anyway, we got on a tangent. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, the first thing I wanted to talk about, though, was, of course, my beloved Detroit Lions.
Oh, yeah.
Who were off this past week because we had the bye week because we won last week, which we did talk about on last week's show. And yesterday it was determined who we would play. Next Saturday at 8 p.m. we play the Washington Commanders. So I'm kind of excited because I think we'll beat them. I hope we'll beat them. I'm not going to be mean and just say we're going to destroy them. No, I'm still that. There's still that 1% of Lion fan in me that goes, I hope we don't blow it.
Yeah, I know. It's like when you're a long-suffering Lions fan, you still have that little bit of doubt.
There's that little bit. I do. This team is remarkable. 15-2, tied for the best record this year in football with Kansas City, who won the Super Bowl last year, who we also beat in the preseason this year. So, yeah, I'm excited. So, next Saturday, 8 p.m., we play. There's 4 games this weekend. We're down to the final 8 teams. And then after this weekend, we'll be down to 4. And then Super Bowl on February 9th. Is that what it is? The 9th or the 8th? I can't remember.
The 9th, I believe.
So, hopefully, our Lions are in it because then hopefully they win it and there's a parade at Magic Kingdom the next day. And you can bet I will rope drop that day.
I bet you would.
I will probably sleep outside the park.
Just to be there, right?
Just to be there. First one. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the water boy from the Lions is the one in the parade. I will be there to cover that because to me that would be the greatest day ever.
Well, you will have the best time ever no matter where you are if they win the Super Bowl.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to figure out how I can get a big enough TV in this house because
No.
I want the players to look like life size. So if I had like a 20, what are our ceilings? 10 foot in the house?
I
So
don't know.
if we get a 10 foot tall TV and play it live, it'd be like we were standing right there in the
It'll
game.
be just like it.
Just like it. And you take the TV back the next day. It's no big deal.
Oh, my God.
You just pay for it for 24 hours.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
That's my hope. But one thing I did want to comment on, something I heard on your podcast.
On my podcast?
From the Daydream Believing podcast.
You listen to my show?
Yes.
When?
I listen to it all the time. I just don't tell you unless I got something to say.
You don't ever tell me.
So you mentioned something
boy.
about how Detroit is now America's team from Dallas Cowboys were, first off, they were never my America's team. Never. Ever did I say the Dallas Cowboys are my team.
I'm saying that's what they call themselves.
I know that's what they do. Their owner's kind of got a big head and thinks that he's the greatest gift to NFL.
Are you really going to pick me apart over that?
No, but I heard that. I was like, what? They're not
Because
America's.
they always say America's team. And
They
I'm like,
do.
no, they're not.
And then you get the broadcasters who buy into that and all that. But I never bought into
There's
that.
a new day. It is Lions country.
It's just, as growing up a Lions fan and a Barry Sanders fan, it was so hard to like the Cowboys and Emmitt Smith. I mean, I was 400 plus pounds when Emmitt Smith was a big thing. I could have ran for 2,000 yards with the line he had.
Okay, we're not going to do this on this show.
But anyway, okay.
Okay.
I digress.
Stay in your lane, Elwood.
I'm going to stay in my lane. But go Lions this Saturday, 8 p.m.
Go Lions.
So we did go to the Magic Kingdom on Friday.
We did. I left the house. I was shocked.
Left the house. It was busy because it was Walt Disney World Marathon weekend.
Oh, race weekend, yeah.
So we had race people and medals all over the park.
Yeah.
And it was, actually, it wasn't as busy as I thought it would be.
No, usually it's terrible.
Usually it's really bad. I think a lot of them were at Hollywood Studios, though. From when I checked the times, it seemed like the studios was really busy.
Just as a disclaimer, locals, for the most part, hate race weekend. And it's just because so many people come to town, and it reminds me of the holidays.
Yeah.
Like they're like weekend long holidays to
Right.
where, you know, our city is so packed full of people, and you might as well forget it if you want to go to a park and get like dinner reservation or it's just a lot, and there's a lot of locals that don't run. They're like,
Right.
eh.
I think I read 30,000 runners were in town this weekend. Now, that's just the people who ran. That doesn't count if they came down with their family or whomever else came with them to be in the parks and such. So there was quite a few people in town. I mean, for the event and everything, but I assume everything went well. I didn't hear anything.
No, I didn't hear anything either, but I wasn't really paying attention.
No, but the race is over. Congratulations to those who ran it. I couldn't do it, so I give you a lot of props for that. We didn't go to the Magic Kingdom that long. We walked around for a little bit. We first got there.
Wanted to see. I wanted to see any progress on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which closed last week.
It did, and they really didn't have the big walls up in front of the ride.
No, nothing yet. Like, you know, they did have, you know, a couple of like barriers up, but nothing major.
No.
And then we ended up going and riding the train because you could see. There's spots where they removed the track already.
Right, coming out of one of the caves, it looked like the track was gone.
Yes, there's like tracks missing, and the audio that plays while you're on the train has already been changed to reflect the construction. Over at Big Thunder.
Which was awesome. They did that because
that was fast.
That was really fast because we went over on Friday, and I think Monday was the first day it was closed. So
something like that.
Nice to see them already working though, progressing, taking track out and such to get the work done. But we do have till 2026 springtime, I think, is when they're thinking.
Yeah, and I've had so many people ask me on social media what I think is what they're doing, and honestly, I don't know any more than anybody else does because yes. I can tell you they are replacing tracks because I saw it.
Yeah, that's the reason. There's a piece of track missing between this part of the track and this part of the track, and they have to replace it or the ride.
They're going to have to put something there. So, but like I was saying when we talked about it last week, that that ride, like we were talking about how bumpy it is. So it made me kind of happy to see missing track.
Because it'd be tightened.
Because I really feel that they're gonna make it a smoother ride.
Maybe.
Because I think they need to.
Somewhat, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it has to be the runaway rail and give you the effects, but they can do that without the actual ride being really, really rough.
Yeah. So. I mean, yeah. Well, Runaway Railway is over at Hollywood Studios.
Okay, well, it's a railroad, so Big Thunder Mountain's it's a runaway railway car going through the
Let's not confuse it too, because my brain can only handle so much today.
Been one of those days, huh?
It's always one of those days. I'm really tired today.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know if it's the weather or what.
Aiden was telling me how tired he was. I think it's the weather. It's just kind of a gloomy day.
It's just one of those days.
Not much sun out today. So.
No, and it's chilly, and in the evenings it gets even colder. What makes you want to just sit under a blanket because it's cold.
I turned the heat up in the house before we came in to record.
I know. Now, mind you, Scott is that guy, and we all know that guy who wears shorts no matter how cold it is.
Yep. And
for him to turn up the heat. Or last week in the morning, he took Aiden to work, and he came back, and he had sweatpants
I did that today.
But I couldn't. I'm like, it's weird to see you in pants.
I know. It's weird to hide these beautiful legs of mine.
Oh, my God. When we go to Michigan, he does wear jeans. But here...
I have to.
It's cold.
Not because I want to.
But, yeah, it's funny to see him in sweatpants. It's like, oh, okay. Things are getting serious around here.
I couldn't go all jeans, though. Sweatpants are easy because you can just put them on, slip them over, whatever.
There's something to be said for comfort clothes in the morning.
Actually, I had shorts underneath them. So
Did
as soon as
you?
I got home, I
Of
just
course,
took those sweatpants off and I had my shorts back on. So it worked out good. One thing we did do at the Magic Kingdom, which we hadn't done, we kept saying we were going to do, is we went into the confectionery, into the back area where they have the popcorn, make your own popcorn mix?
Yes. No, I had seen other people do it. Our friend Claire wrote about it because she did it.
Yes.
And let me tell you, it is because snacks at the parks are like expensive.
Yeah, I think a Mickey bar is $7.
Something like that.
Something like that
So if you're going to spend money on a snack and you want something that's good quality, but good size also, the make your own popcorn bucket type of thing is totally worth it.
I agree. So I think it was posted as $15.99, I want to say, or $14.99. But with discount, with annual pass holder discount, came out to $11.90 for and it's a big container.
I mean, we got it Friday. We were still snacking on it before we.
Yeah, we were.
Before we even turned on the mics.
So you get to pick. So they had 3 types of popcorn. They had a caramel, they had a kettle, and then they had a buttered popcorn. And I asked if I could pick 2, so she did. She let me pick 2. So I had kettle and caramel in there. Then you get either chocolate, or dark chocolate, milk chocolate, or white chocolate and drizzle on it. Which we took the milk chocolate, and then you get to pick 2 of the toppings. And they have M&Ms, they have like the freeze-dried Skittles, they had marshmallows. Like 4 different types of M&Ms actually. They had some other stuff. I can't remember everything they had. So I just had plain M&Ms and I had pretzels put on there because I thought the salt of the pretzel would taste good in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually a really good mix. They do 2 layers in the container, so it's not everything is on the top. It's well mixed in.
Yeah, it's through the whole thing. So it's not just plain popcorn on the bottom. Really, really good. I think the freeze-dried Skittles are a little intriguing. They use those over at Epcot. So
yes, they do.
and
Maybe next time
and they're crunchy.
May have to try those next time.
I have to try. But yeah, I think we're going to be hooked. I think this is going to be one of our snacks when we go to Magic Kingdom.
And I think it was only 99 cents to have a third topping put in there if you want something
it's
else.
so reasonable.
It is.
I just couldn't believe, like, if you look at how much everything else costs in the park, it's very reasonable, and you get to choose what kind of flavors that you want. It's not like, going to the popcorn stand and here you go.
Right, it's customized to exactly what you like. And I thought that was really cool. And I mean, for $12,
worth it.
Definitely worth it. And like you said, we ate on it again still today, and we've eaten on it every day. I mean, it wasn't like we just put it in the container let it set. We've had some every day since we bought it, and it was still tasted fresh. It didn't taste like it was getting stale at all.
No, because like we got to the bottom of it. We got to the bottom of things today, right before we went live, and I'm like, oh, it's gone.
But there was still a lot of M&Ms and stuff in there, and usually that kind of stuff goes quick.
There's tons of M&Ms still in the bottom.
I think there was Twix pieces, Snickers pieces. I mean, there was all kinds of different candies and stuff you can put into it.
Twix might be good.
Twix might be good also with the Skittles.
Twix and Skittles. That sounds like my teeth are hurting.
Mix it up, have some fun with it, go with it. But definitely something we definitely would recommend. Now I want to go back and try other flavors. I want to try with the white chocolate, and I want to see. I'm not a dark chocolate fan, but I don't know.
I like popcorn with chocolate drizzle on it, and I mean, I would have been happy with just that.
And it kind of made it to where it formed like chunks of it. Like,
yeah, like pieces, almost like little candy bars.
Yeah, it was kind of cool the way they did it. So I don't know. They got the recipe perfect for the way they do the drizzle and all that. And it's just really good thing, custom made to you. It moved pretty quick. There was a lot of people in there, and the line moved pretty quick. They had 3 different people making them.
Yeah, because when we first walked in there, it was crowded, and I was thinking, oh, maybe today's not a good day. But then it was crowded in there, so I went and I sat outside.
Right. And
you went and got the popcorn thing, and it was like 10 minutes maybe.
And I was standing there looking for a few more minutes. I didn't get right in line. I was kind of looking to see what kind of mixes people were doing, because I was just curious what people got on it. So, yeah, definitely going to have to try that again when we go back. Now we're out, so we have to go back.
I know we ran out just now.
Now we have to go to Magic Kingdom again soon just to get more refill of our popcorn stuff. But definitely a thumbs up. And if you're not sure where it is, that used to be the hat store at the back of the confectionery there, right in the very beginning of the park.
If you walk out, Tony's is right there.
Right. So go in that door right there, and you can get that custom made for you. And
good stuff.
It's definitely worth it. And there's a line. Every time I've walked past, I've always noticed a line. So it's
wait in the line. You'll thank yourself.
Yes, it's worth it. Another thing that happened today was the first day of Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama is now officially closed.
Yes, it is.
So yesterday was the final day at Animal Kingdom for that little part of Dinoland USA that is now closed.
Right.
So it's kind of sad, though. I know that part we didn't really do the rides over there. We never really played the games, but there was just something about that area. I just always liked going back there.
I think we did do like the rides and games when we were vacationing here.
Probably, yeah.
Because I remember their store in the back was, I mean, it was different now,
Mm-hmm.
but when we used to take the boys when they were younger, we just loved that store. I remember the kids always wanted to go in that store because they had candy on the side, and and it was different. And then you could find different types of merchandise. It wasn't all the same old.
Right.
They loved that store, and I loved that store. And I know the last time we were there, we went in and we recorded for old time's sake. And I'm so glad that we went previously to get the photos and video of the area before it was gone, because as of this morning, walls are already up.
Yeah, and I always liked that store because you always had all the decorations up in the ceiling area. So there was all kinds of like dinosaurs.
Like the Cracker Barrel used to have.
It was very much like Cracker Barrel, with lots of dinosaurs and toys and such like that all over. So you could always just look around and see so much different stuff up
cool
there.
Theming.
Cool. It was really cool theming, and it looked like it took years to put it all together, like decades to put all that together. So I will miss seeing that. I wish they could somehow preserve that somewhere and put it somewhere.
Yeah, but it's weird because like the big dinosaur that's back there is such a, a focal point.
Yes.
Everybody knows about that dinosaur and walking underneath it, and it had lights underneath it.
Yeah.
It just is one of those things that I think we're just used to seeing it.
Yes.
Not that. Okay, let's just be honest. That area needed some help.
It did.
Ever since Primeval World, which was not, it was a rough ride.
It was.
Since that, you could kind of see the writing on the wall once they took out that ride.
And they took it out. I mean, like, it wasn't even, they just ripped the whole area.
Yeah, the whole thing was
really
gone.
Quickly. I mean, it wasn't even like they put up walls and hid it. I mean,
it was
just
gone.
a big hole where it used to sit.
And now there was walls there, but it just looks so bare.
It does.
And I remember there was all the talk that they were just going to put a new ride back there.
Right, I do remember that talk.
So everyone was waiting to see if they were going to announce a new ride of sorts, because there's a lot of room back there.
Right, there is.
And then we found out that that's going to be a whole new land back there, which is better.
Yes.
But it's so strange, just like with everything else that closes, because we've been down here almost 11 years. And we have seen many things go.
Yeah.
And so I was looking on social media, and just like with everything else, the area was packed last night.
Oh, I bet it was. Sure it was.
I mean, we already had our footage, but no, it was loaded last night. And it's funny because like we always talk about, like when the backlot tour at the studios, it was never busy until they were closing.
Yep.
And everything that has closed at the parks is always that night. I remember first year we moved here when they closed Maelstrom.
Oh my, yes.
And we went to the last night of Maelstrom.
I think we were on the second to last boat.
Yeah, and we went, and I was surprised, but I was like totally in reporter mode. I'm like, we were just new on the scene. I'm like, we totally have to go.
Yes.
And I think that was the first time I saw how busy it gets when something is leaving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was crazy the way it was. I remember somebody outside of Maelstrom, because that was when the Magic Bands were still pretty new, but everybody had like 40 of them, because everybody, you either bought them or you got them every trip you booked or whatever, or your passes renewed. I remember somebody took like 10 of them, and then they like almost like handcuffed themselves to the doors of Maelstrom with the Magic Bands.
Oh my
I remember seeing
God.
those pictures and stuff of people doing that, but that was one that bothered Corey when that one closed.
I know, he had a T-shirt and protests and everything.
He had a T-shirt made of a fast pass for it. Like, it's closed. It's gone for good.
Yeah, but change is hard. But
I think this is good change.
I do. I mean, I like the whole aesthetic back there in Dinoland, but I'm very curious and eager to see what they do with that spot.
Yeah, exactly. Because we know that the Indiana Jones ride is coming, which I'm guessing is going to take over for Dinosaur once that closes.
Yeah.
And then we're getting the Encanto attraction is going to be back there. The carousel is going to be built back there. There's going to be something for Up back there. So there's quite a few things that are going to be coming into that area when it opens.
And they do have, like I said, they have the room for it.
And there's something about they can go further back than what the park is right now from what we see. There's more room. Like they can expand a little bit. So I'll be curious to see what goes on with all that. But in time, but there is so many changes going to happen at Walt Disney World over the next few years. It's going to be a lot to keep up with, actually.
And also, I want to backtrack to Magic Kingdom for a second. I put video on our socials of the train ride so you could see the track missing. But what I noticed too, because you can't miss it. I can't say what I noticed. There's a big old crane back there.
Big old crane.
Big crane. So, and it's weird to see a big crane like kind of sticking out right at Magic Kingdom. But obviously, if they're going to be removing track and such, and then like you said, beyond Big Thunder Mountain, of course, like there's all these things that are going to be built, and you can kind of, what am I trying to say? You can see the machinery there, and it's kind of becoming a reality. Like, okay, they are changing stuff.
Yeah, with the machinery back there, and that's why I think Beyond Big Thunder is going to be built, because right now with that ride being down, they can get stuff in and out of the area without having to deal with patrons.
Right.
Area, so
so closing the attraction, they're going to be able, because they're going to be building all kinds of stuff, and I know a lot of people are hoping they don't change the feel of the ride. I mean, what the ride is. If they want to add to it, fix track,
but
whatever.
Keep the classic.
But keep it pretty much the same, just updated.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, because that's part of the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is you want what it does. You want it to be like it's always been.
And it's funny because like a lot of even small parks have like the mine train type of coasters.
Cedar Point had the runaway
mine train. Yeah. And we obviously have Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but then you also have the Wacky Railroad back there, which is kind of a similar thing.
Right.
And like let's say I'm vacationing here, and if we go back 10 years, let's say, like our kids would have been disappointed that it was closed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's one of the coasters.
Yeah.
But I mean, they do have Tron, so it's not like they have nothing fun to do.
Right. Magic Kingdom does have the most rides. What I'm surprised they haven't ever done yet, and speaking of Indiana Jones type, because I know they're trying to get more with the Indiana Jones stuff, why they never made a ride like in the end of the Temple of Doom where they're going through the mine and they're in mine cars and they're swinging like they could do with the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, that cart, but do it like the Indiana Jones one where you're jumping over fire and jumping track, which Universal has proven you can do track jumps like they're going to be doing with the Donkey Kong ride, to where it looks like the track stops, but they're going to jump to another track and go on that. I think that would have been really cool if they would have done that with Indiana Jones instead of like the dinosaur one that they're just going to replace.
Well, the new Indiana Jones ride over there is going to be different than what we have in California.
Right.
But they haven't really said much about what it is. But here I have a sidebar for a second.
Okay.
And I'm going to sound like such a girl asking this.
Oh boy.
Because I just like my world is different than everybody else's.
That's true. That I will agree with you 100% on that.
My thoughts are my own. I live in my own world.
And they're not a reflection of the mainstream house.
That's right. Why? Okay, listeners, don't get mad at me for asking. But why do we need more Indiana Jones?
I think it's
old.
It is, but I think it's a classic attraction that's going to reach out to the people who grew up in the 80s and the 90s.
Right, but like
with the original movies, not the newer ones. Nobody cares about the new ones. It's the original 3. You could even you could throw off the original 3 in there. I think.
Like our generation, we grew up watching those films.
Right.
But like our own kids, they didn't give a rip about Indiana Jones.
No, they didn't.
And kids today certainly won't because they're even younger. I just it's interesting to me with different franchises and different things that they can choose from to where, they're like, hey, let's put Indiana Jones over here.
My opinion, most of it lies that Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. And people just like Harrison Ford. As an actor, he's just well-liked. He was Han Solo for everybody in the Marvel Universe. Star Wars Universe.
Ooh, big whoopsie there.
Big whoops there. I'm tired. But actually, he's joining the Marvel Universe. He's in the new Captain America movie.
Right.
So I think it's a lot of just the people who like Harrison Ford a lot. That's why Indiana Jones kind of fits with the theming. I think it's going to go with that tropical Americas that they're, you know what?
I don't know.
The Imagineers usually come up with really good ideas, and a lot of times we don't understand them until we see it. And then once it debuts, like, oh, okay, now I see why they use this theming because this is the type of ride they wanted to do. And you know what? Sometimes I don't want to get on a kiddie ride.
No.
And to me, so like, people are going to hate me for this. Seven Dwarfs to me is a kiddie ride. I like it, but when you're going through the cave and you see or the mine rather, and you see all of them dancing and the stones, it just makes it a kid's ride to me. Where
it's fun.
Indiana Jones in California is a very high intense version of Dinosaur that you have a lot of fun with. Bumpy. There's fire. There's all kinds of stuff going on around you.
Yeah, I guess I can see your point there. I just I think it's great out in California.
Yeah.
I don't know why they need it here. That's all I'm saying.
And it's basically the same as Dinosaur. It's the same type of ride system
that
Dinosaur is built on. So that's why that building is becoming it. So I'm assuming it's going to run the same as Dinosaur did, because then they don't have to rebuild from scratch. They can just take what they have.
And
there
that's another track that really needs some revamping, because it my back always hurts.
Oh yeah.
When going on Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm. And it's because the cart jumps up and down. The wheels are always on the ground. And
no, but it jerks you around and it hurts.
It does.
I always brace myself. I sit there and I grab the bar in front of me, and my arms tense up because I'm trying to hold myself still so I don't get whiplash.
Right. You don't want to walk off it like you just got beat up. Because your body hurts so bad.
And my back hurts all the time anyway, so I don't need to go ride something that's going to make it worse.
No, I agree with you, but yeah, I think that's what it is that it's going to make it an adult feel of a ride when it's Indiana Jones, because it appeals to our generation more than it does the younger generation. Now, they might like the ride itself when it's all said and done, but they may not have any clue who Indiana Jones really is.
No. I mean, like, for me, I remember watching the movies. Because, it was on HBO all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Temple of Doom was the big one that was all the time on it. And Raiders was most of the time. You could find that somewhere to watch.
The one I saw all the time on HBO was the one that we just watched on TV a couple
Temple
weeks
of Doom
ago.
with Short Round?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that was on all the time.
Yeah.
But, however, that was a long time ago. And, okay, don't hate me. I don't care about Indiana Jones.
I know you don't.
I just don't.
But did you know in Temple of Doom, there was parts of that movie that were filmed right here in Florida, not far from where we live.
Oh, yeah?
The Gators are from Gatorland. The whole section where they're climbing up the side of the mountain and the rocks, the special stones fall and they hit the water and some of the guys fall in the water and stuff. Those Gator scenes were filmed at Gatorland.
Oh, I love Gatorland.
Yeah, so that was part of Gatorland was in that movie. Now that people realize that.
That trivia question you got there.
That was a trivia question. That was a fun one. But yeah, I'm sad to see Chester and Hester's go. I did like the area, but we didn't really do anything back there to where it's going to be, we're not going to be able to go back there and do this anymore. I don't think I ever once played a game back there.
I don't think I have either. I remember taking the kids to Triceratops, the ride.
I think they rode Primeval World once.
Yes, because one time I rode with them when we vacationed.
And I know Drew took Aiden on one when we were at the pass holder party that one night, a DVC
that was
party.
Years ago, too. And I remember I rode with the boys years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the car whipped around and kind of checked me to the side of the ride.
Right.
And I remember getting off with a shoulder and back pain because I got whipped around and smacked. It was like playing hockey, like somebody checked me into the boards. But it was but you know what? It was better me than the kids because they were smaller then.
They would have got broken.
I took the brunt of it. So I got checked into the side, and then the kids also checked into the other side. Everybody was like, bam.
What they say, it's like a wild mouse ride. Like you find, I know Cedar Point had one of those. They had a wild mouse roller coaster. And that's
people used to call
it
primeval hurl because it would spin and spin, and people would not feel so good when they got off of it.
That's why I never rode it.
Yeah, I did. It's always me. I'm always the one who has to take one.
You like riding rides?
Oh, the boys are like, Mom, and I'm like, I don't tell them no. So
that's on you then.
Yeah, sure, let's go.
That's your fault then. You need to learn how to.
But I don't miss it. What I'm saying is like I don't.
When it came down, you weren't crying.
Nah. I mean, there's some things I still miss to this day, but that's not one of them.
Well, anyway, we will miss the area though, seeing because we're so used to it from being all those years. It was 20 years, just over 20 years. It's all been there. Yeah. So it's sad to see it go, but I'm optimistic about what they're doing. A lot of these changes at Walt Disney World, I'm excited for. I'm excited to see something new. It's kind of rejuvenating all the parks across the board with new stuff. And I know people get why does everything have to be IP? Because you own it. I mean, why not use your own product if you're gonna put it everywhere? I mean, it just makes sense. You're not gonna go to Universal and them not have stuff that they own or they own the rights to.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what they do back there. I'm excited about Indiana Jones because I do like that property. In Kanto, I'll be curious to see how they do all that. I do want to see the merry-go-round when it goes in, because it's all supposed to be hand carved, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. And good for them, because Animal Kingdom to me is totally on life support. They have that whole area back there. There's a big waste.
Yeah.
And it's not a full day park. There's not that much to do there.
No, and I wish they would have ever gone forward with the Beastly Kingdom part of that. Because you still see the dragons on some of the benches and some of the lamps and stuff around the building. You see the carvings on there that were supposed
of
to
what could have been. Yeah.
What could have been. Beastly Kingdom looked really cool from the original concept art and things like that. So I kind of wish they would have done that, but I understand why they didn't do that. I know Avatar is supposed to be expanding eventually back there.
It's just kind of strange because, because I'm the one who puts out the content for our site.
Right.
And, like what gets hits and what doesn't.
Right.
What people are interested in and what, It's never Animal Kingdom.
No.
They just don't care.
And what's funny is when we first came down here together, and I hadn't been to Walt Disney World since Animal Kingdom had opened, and you took me down. You loved Animal Kingdom.
Oh my gosh, it was like right up there with Magic Kingdom.
Everything. You liked the merchandise because you liked the leopard print that was on everything.
I love the merchandise.
The parade.
That when they had the
Mickey's
Jam and Jungle parade.
Yep.
Everest, I thought was great.
Camp Mini Mickey was back there.
Camp Mini Mickey, yes.
You could go back and meet the different characters in their safari outfits.
Yeah, that was so much fun. The characters were spread out all through there, and you could go stand in line.
Yes.
I don't know what it was about Animal Kingdom, but it was one of my favorites. And then fast forward to now, it's like the least one that we go to.
If we're there maybe 3 times a year, I'd say that's a lot.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure why that is, because there's parts of Animal Kingdom that I do like. Maybe if we went with a group of people, it'd be more fun.
Maybe it's just sometimes in the summertime, it is the hottest park on the face of the planet.
Misery.
So all the foliage keeps that heat trapped into that park, and I don't know why. I just feel so much warmer at that park than any other park.
Steamy.
It is steamy. But we'll see once all these changes go through, and I know there's going to be something coming to the Tree of Life that show's supposed to be changing in there from Bugs Life to something else. So we'll see once all these changes are done. It might become another 3/4 of a day park. I don't know if it'll ever be a full day park again. They need some kind of show though. They need either a parade or a nighttime show more than just
they had Rivers of Light, which was amazing.
It was amazing. They used to do the safari at nighttime before COVID.
Yes, with the fake sunset and all that.
It was. And then COVID happened and none of that came back after COVID, which was kind of sad because the safari at nighttime was something very unique to do.
It was. And then plus, the projections on the Tree of Life, and then Rivers of Light were it was a great show. I loved it. But then towards the end, they started changing it. They had less actors. They changed the format of it, and people were starting to lose interest. And then the fact that the floats, they couldn't keep them lit.
Yeah.
From batteries. And I think that one thing that's going to go down in history as the biggest, what were they thinking, would be kite tails.
Oh, Lord.
When the kites would fly.
When they crashed, though, that was hilarious.
Oh, my
I know it was meant to be.
We didn't know when we first
didn't know
saw
the first
it,
time.
and I was sitting with the kids, and they giggled. They're like, "Look, he's gonna crash into the stairs!" Boom!
He did.
And the boys and I, you can't take us anywhere. We were crying from laughing. I had to pinch my nose. I just couldn't. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, there's another one's gonna crash," because it was ridiculous.
It was, but it was so cool to watch him crash.
It was funny. It didn't seem like Disney, because normally Disney would not want people to see Baloo crash into the stairs.
No, they would crash it backstage where you didn't see it if it was.
It was all out a disaster area. Weird.
Spent so much time for that Rivers of Light area to build that whole amphitheater. Remember they had the Jungle Book show before it was Rivers?
Yes, they did.
They had the Jungle Book show, which wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And then Rivers came in there, and when Rivers debuted, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, this show is it's gonna make Animal Kingdom a full day park again," because people are gonna go in the morning to do everything, and then they're gonna stick around nighttime to see Rivers. It was great, and then when Rivers got its pink slip that it was going away. It was like, no, don't take it away.
It's like I know we've talked about it before. I will never understand. They hyped up Rivers of Light so much for years, and it was delayed because it wasn't done yet. Right. And they made such a big deal, and so much hype, and then it was only around a couple of years. It shocked me. Yeah, because I didn't, with all they put into it and all the hype and all like the marketing and whatever else, building that whole theater. I'm still surprised that it didn't last. Yeah,
I am too. And when we heard the reason. I don't really want to say what the reason was, but the reason we heard it went away from some show directors, it's kind of sad that was the reason.
Let's just say technical difficulties.
But they can make Spider-Man fly through the air at California Adventure.
Well, that's California.
But here we can't get Rivers of Light
to
work correctly. And I think a lot of it, too, like you said, some of the cast members, so there used to be the shadows of the different people on the boats, and you would see them, like the drumming and playing.
And the music.
And then all of a sudden they just became like projectors playing the motions of those people. They weren't even on the boats anymore, and it was like, come on, what are you doing? Why?
Yeah. Oh well, I did love it, but so yeah, Animal Kingdom definitely needs overhaul, and it's beginning.
It is, and I'll be excited to see where it goes from here. So
yep.
Okay, well that's everything we really did in the last week. We didn't do a lot.
We haven't done a whole lot.
No, we haven't done a whole lot, but actually we're 40 minutes into our show, so we're doing pretty good so far.
Wow, I
thought
we'd be done by now.
We have quite a few news stories,
okay.
Actually, so I'm going to try to go through these. A couple of them we might touch a little bit more on. If you missed it last week, Disney did put out a Discover Disney tickets for Florida residents. I think it was a 4-day ticket, was for like $260. You get a 4-day ticket to the parks if you don't have annual pass. So that's actually a pretty good deal because it's like $65 a day to go to the parks.
Way less than what it is for a 1-day ticket.
Yeah. But you can, again, all these news stories we're going to read, there will be hyperlinks in the show notes that you can click on the article to learn more about it if you want to inquire more about what we're talking about. One of the press releases we got this week, or last week, I should say, Morimoto Asia is hosting the Ramen Rumble.
I want to go to the Ramen Rumble.
So it's going to be all these different chefs that are coming to Morimoto, and they're going to compete with their ramen cuisine. So that's coming the end of January, so you can read more about that. If you want to go there and attend it, you can. It reminded me kind of like when you hosted when you were one of the judges for the bartender thing.
Yeah.
Allison. I thought this was kind of like the same. It's like a competition with different chefs coming
I want to be a judge.
Yeah, but they use a lot of pork and ramen. You wouldn't eat that.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat the pork. Sorry.
Yeah. Another thing we put out this week was that Miss Piggy and Oris Watch did a collaboration. So there's Miss Piggy watches coming.
Miss Piggy watches.
Miss Piggy. It actually looked like a nice watch. So,
yeah. I like Miss Piggy, actually.
She's kind of cool. The 2025 and 2026 Run Disney dates all came out. So you can go ahead and check that out with the weekend just ending here. You can see what all the dates are for the next year coming up. The next one I wanted to talk a little bit about was Epcot's Festival of the Arts, which starts this Friday. We got the foodie guide.
Oh, yes. I love the food for Festival of the Arts.
I just like the food, period. Doesn't matter where it's at. Of course, they are bringing back your favorite.
Deconstructed key lime pie.
Deconstructed key lime pie. You love that. Every year you get that. There's a few things this year I'm a little bit like the crab slider, which actually looks like a deep fried crab on a bun. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. Trying to go through here real quick. There's a Figment waffle.
Okay.
It's a lot of seafood this year.
See, and that bothers me. You know, I'm going to protest. I'm going to go pick it outside the park because I am so sick. Here I go, soapbox. I am so sick of way too much seafood being offered at Disney, like festivals and whatever. Guess what? There's a lot of people that don't like seafood.
I know.
And I'm one of them. And so are you.
I am too.
And I know a lot of people that don't like it.
So you don't want to try the squid ink pasta with lump crab?
Mary and Joseph.
Or the charred octopus with crushed fingerling potatoes?
That's disgusting.
Well, that's what they're going to have.
That's absolutely disgusting.
But you can get the black cocoa brownie there also.
Okay, you know what? I'll take a brownie, but squid nothing? No, I'm sorry.
So so again, though, you do have your deconstructed key lime pie, which Michele will tell you is her favorite of all the festivals. It's probably the one thing you look forward to every year.
I love it.
At all the festivals. And so make sure you try that. It's at the Deconstructed booth. You might want to check that out. They also had the Deconstructed BLT, which has been the other thing they've always had at that same booth each year. I'm trying to go through some of these quickly. There is the raspberry pastry tart. So basically it's a Pop-Tart with raspberry and lemon cream cheese filling this year.
Oh, I would try that.
That sounds good. Rainbow cake topped with freeze-dried Skittles.
Okay, I remember trying that at a media event last year.
And I'm not talking about, there's all the adult beverages at each one of these booths. A lot of breweries and such like that. So if you're into that, you might want to check out and see where you want to try.
Do they have the fan favorite tomato soup and grilled cheese?
There's a little bit of a twist, and it's down at the bottom, but I will get to that here.
All right.
Let me scroll down here a little bit, but you have, just trying to go through some of these and see some of the big, newer ones. There's the ancho marinated beef sirloin, which I would like to try in Mexico. It's carne asada, which looks really good. Painted Panda. So there's General Tso's chicken shumai, dumplings filled with chicken, potato, onion, and water chestnut topped with General Tso sauce. And I like General Tso's chicken.
I might try that.
I'm curious to try that. That will be in China. They, of course, have the jumbo chocolate chip cookie that looks like an artist palette. They put little inks on it and such. It was Italy, I think, that had three things you were kind of interested in. So they had the tricolor cheese-filled ravioli, one with pomodoro sauce, one with pesto sauce, and one with a cream sauce.
I would try that.
Which, of course, they also have the mozzarella fritta, which is the artist palette of the...
It's like a big cheese stick type of thing with different dipping sauces.
Yes.
Which is really good.
Really good. And then they also, this year, they have the hazelnut s'more cannoli, which I showed you the picture of that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I love cannoli.
So, and that looks really good. So those are the three things Italy's going to have. So I have a feeling we'll be at the Italy booth at least once throughout this festival. There was a deviled egg trio, which I would like to try at one of the booths. And there was an open-faced chicken pot pie.
Okay.
Which I'm interested to see because it's like the crust is on the bottom and then everything. It almost looks like an upside down pizza or like a pizza where the crust is on the bottom and then all the toppings of the pot pie are on top of the crust.
See, that could go very good or very bad.
It could be very messy. Depending on how thick the gravy is that holds it all together, it could be very messy.
It's like comfort food though.
It is. The funnel cake for this festival is the cotton candy funnel cake.
Okay.
You can get the funnel cake booth. Let's see, where are we now? They of course have the sushi donut that they have every year for those who like that in Japan. They also have a Wagyu bun, which is steamed bun filled with American Wagyu beef served with Japanese mustard sauce and a violet shiso sauce, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Like
no idea. I might try that as well. Let's see where we at. Tangerine Cafe, nothing new there that I'm seeing. What's this one? Nothing really new with that one. I'm trying to get down to the one you had mentioned. Asking me about here. I don't see it now.
That was the pop one, wasn't it?
There is a new, what do they call that? The French fries with the stuff on it?
Oh, poutine.
Poutine. There's like an Italian version one they're doing this year. Caprese poutine. So it's going to be Tuscan spiced French fries, tomato, garlic, mozzarella pearls, basil pesto, and a pecorino and balsamic glaze on it. So it's fries but with tomatoes and garlic and cheese.
I love a good caprese salad. I don't know how I would feel with it on the fries. It might be one of those have to try type of things.
I think it's one of those ones I may have to try. And I'm not even a big fan of pesto, but I think I do need to try this one because it does look
They got me
intriguing.
At balsamic glaze.
I figured they did. You could just put balsamic on fries and you'd be happy.
Balsamic on mozzarella is like my favorite.
It is. That's for sure. You do like that one. They again have the different Dole Whips at the Swirled Showcase. They have lemon, lime, and strawberry Dole Whips that'll be there, but they also are going to have a bubblegum soft serve.
Okay.
That's going to be there. The grilled cheese, that's the one you had asked about. So there's the normal tomato soup and grilled cheese, but then there's also a tomato soup with pimento cheese, bacon, and a fried green tomato grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh. See, I don't like pimento. You
don't
do,
like
though.
Yeah, I do. I don't know if I'd like that with fried green tomato, though. I'm curious about it. May have to try it, but I don't like tomato soup.
I only like it with grilled cheese.
I've never been a fan.
Or if you put a ton of crackers in it.
But there's a lot of other menu items. We did not cover near all of them. The other big thing that's for the festival, though, is the Figment popcorn bucket.
Oh, yeah.
This year, that looks like a light bulb.
Yeah, it lights up. It's got a string at the bottom, and it's a light bulb.
So that will be the biggest line on Friday.
I wonder if they're going to have mobile order for the popcorn buckets.
I think they learned their lesson from a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, the 8-hour wait in line.
Yeah, for the Figment one, I think they're going to have to do something like that this year.
It seemed like last year with the mobile order, it was much easier to get your hands on one.
It was. I do think it's funny, though, it does say while supplies last. So they do expect it to sell out.
I don't get it, but whatever.
Yeah, that popcorn bucket every single year goes crazy. And it's going to be at the Odyssey this year. So you probably will be able to model.
I think that's mobile order.
Yeah, you'll be able to mobile order that one, I think, for sure, to be able to get it. And that cuts down on the line for everybody else if
that's
they
true.
mobile order it. So hopefully we'll see. But we will be there Friday. So if you're out and about at the festival and you do see us, make sure you say hi.
Say hello.
Yeah, we always get messages afterwards that, I saw you, but I didn't want to bother you. You're not bothering us.
No, bother us. It's fine.
Yep, come up, say hi, take a picture, whatever you want to do.
Take a picture.
Do whatever you want to do. Just don't take creeper pictures.
Don't take creeper pictures.
That kind of freaks out Michele sometimes when we get those.
Shut up.
A little bit.
Well, it doesn't. Well, all right. Never mind. Anyway. Yeah, sometimes. Okay, you guys. Sometimes I do get pictures of myself sent to me.
Which is kind of weird.
It is. It's like, and usually I like have my mouth open because I'm talking or I'm taking a bite of something and I'm like, hey, I saw you. Didn't want to say hi.
She was eating her deconstructed key lime pie. Just took a big bite and then somebody snapped the picture and posted it.
I thought I saw you. Yeah, that
was that you at the deconstructed booth?
That was me feeding my face. You're welcome.
Why do you have 6 empty plates of deconstructed key lime pie in front? Okay, so the next news was Disney put out more details about the new cruise ships that are coming. They are going to be going up to 13 cruise ships in the next 5 years, which is insane. And the next class, so we're currently still in the Wish class of ships, but the next class over this is actually going to be smaller than even like the Dream and the Fantasy ships, but they're going to be larger than the Magic.
Than the Magic. I wonder why that is.
I'm not sure if they're going to get back to more of a smaller sailings. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why.
See, I'm so used to the big ships now.
I know.
It would be weird.
Because we were on the Magic when we went to see Lookout last summer.
Yeah, last June.
And it was just weird to be back on that small ship, even though I like the Magic a lot. I think it's a great ship.
I like the Magic, too.
Yeah, it was just weird being back on that smaller ship when you're used to the big.
You know what it is? It's the little atriums when you walk onto this ship.
Yeah.
I mean, you're used to seeing like this, big grand hall on the other ships, but the Magic has like a quarter of that.
Yeah, it's really small. It is. And then just getting off the Treasure and their atrium is huge.
It's just weird. But even like the Dream has a big area when you walk in, but like the Magic, it's like it's so small.
And we've never been on the Wonder.
No, we've never been on the Wonder.
Yeah, we've never been on the Wonder yet, so we don't know. I know it's the sister ship to the Magic, so maybe eventually we'll get on it.
Maybe.
We'll see. But so they put out the list of new ship details and such, so you can read more about that. Big thing Disney did, which applaud to them for this, donating $15 million to the LA relief and the rebuilding efforts that are going to be going on after all the fires have destroyed California.
Yes.
So I'm glad to see them doing that. Wonderful. And they should. Disney's been such a huge part of California.
I mean, the fires didn't reach all the way to Anaheim. No, they didn't. But that whole area I was talking about on my show, since you've listened to it, about how much we've really grown to love California.
Yep.
And how we love Disneyland, and we always visit the Hollywood Hills.
You did. I heard you say that about the last day we're in town. We always go to the hills. We always do the Walk of Fame. Always look for the sign you can never find, the Hollywood sign.
That freaking sign, I'll tell you.
We've gone. So the first time we drove all around the mountain, and where did she see it? She saw it on the freeway as we were driving back to the airport that first time. The second time you kept seeing it, or like we were in the car, like, oh, there it is, and then you'd miss it because like trees or something would come up and it'd be gone.
My gosh.
We ended up, one of the times we ended up finding a Home Depot that's on near the Walk of Fame that you go and you park on the top level because this Home Depot has a parking garage.
A 2-story parking garage. You park on the second story of the garage and you can see the sign off in the distance.
Clear.
But I mean, the thing that's crazy is so like when we were looking at for the first time, we went to Griffith Park, and that's like an iconic place to to look, right? And then we kept saying, oh, you can see it from up the observatory, blah, 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 blah. And then we get out and I'm like, I don't see it. And then I turn around.
It's behind us.
It was behind us.
Remember we went there with Sean the one time?
Yes.
And we were driving up the road that's you keep going back and forth. The road is kind of not a straight shot. And we're driving, and then somebody looked in the back window like, there it is. And we pulled over to the side of the road and got out and all took pictures.
It's such a weird thing because it's such an iconic symbol of that whole area.
Yes.
And to be able to find it and get a good spot. You can hike up there.
You can.
I'm not a hiker.
And I know that there's snakes and such that are in the mountains area, and there is no way I'm going out there because I'm deathly afraid of snakes.
So you couldn't be a rich person and live in Hollywood Hills?
No.
Sure, we'll get exterminated. Listen to me, I'm like, we.
Actually, I don't think I'd want to live out there. I don't think I'd ever want to live in California. The taxes are way too high.
It's expensive. I mean, we live in Florida where it's expensive, but it's like way more expensive in California. But it's a cool place to visit.
It's a very cool place to visit. I don't think I'd want to live there, but I love to visit out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, we love California, and like we. 2 years ago, we drove up the coast to the Santa Monica Pier.
That was fun.
That was so cool.
Although you did get a little bit scared on some of those roads because there's
no guardrails.
No, and people are flying.
People are flying, and you look down, and one slip of the tire, and you're
gone.
Bye.
Yeah, you blow a tire, you're done.
Bye. I just no. My anxiety was too bad for that, but I'm fascinated with the area. But yeah, it's really sad to see, and I'm glad Disney is donating.
I am too, and like you had said, I hope we can get out this year for the 70th. I do want to get out there and be able to see Disneyland for the 70th anniversary. I think it's something that we need to be at if we can. So we'll see. If we can make it work, we will. Other news that came out just the other day was that we put the story out back in October, and then there was an update the other day that the former cast member who had hacked into the menu system and had done some really crazy stuff to the online menu system pled guilty to the crimes that he did. And I think because he got fired, he kind of got mad, and that's how he was biting the company back.
Yeah, he hacked into the menus and changed them.
Yeah, and that wasn't smart because, you don't mess with Disney.
And food allergies were an issue also. But yeah, like come on, people, you're gonna get caught.
Yeah, you really didn't think you were gonna get caught. You're on their system, and they record everything. So okay. And then the news that just came out today, or a blog that we shared out today, was about celebrating 50 years of Space Mountain is coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so 50 years of that.
50 years.
I know, isn't that crazy to think that space is 50 years old?
It is, and that's another ride that needs overhaul.
And it doesn't look a day over 40.
It really doesn't. It's it's aging very well.
Yeah, Tom Morrow has not gotten that old. So. But that's all the Disney news. Again, all these will be hyperlinked in the show notes, and you can read more details about any of those. But make sure you check out the Festival Arts Foodie Guide. See if
because there's a lot.
There's a lot of foods coming for it. And I remember the first Festival of the Arts; it was really small. There was no merchandise hardly. There was like 4 things.
There was like a pin.
There was not much at all. So it's kind of cool to see that we've been for every year this festival has existed. We've been to it every year and see it grow and get bigger and bigger.
Because you remember that first year, people weren't sure if it was going to be a one and done because they at the end of the festival they never said see you next year.
No, they didn't say anything.
Disney was very quiet.
It was kind of like Jollywood Nights. When that ended,
yes.
We all wanted to know if there'd be more, and they never really said, "We'll see you next year." So,
no.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So that's a very good point. Yeah. Just like Jollywood.
Yeah, you never know what they're gonna do. So.
But yeah, it's funny because the first year we were kind of like, I guess it's got potential.
Yeah, I remember there wasn't even a pin for that first year, and the pin traders were kind of mad. It's like we didn't even get a pin to celebrate this festival.
Yeah, the merchandise was pretty much non-existent.
And we were told that it was like a last-minute throw-together festival that grew into something.
And now look.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge, and now it's got the biggest popcorn bucket every year.
It does, and I love the art booths when you walk around. Except the only bad part is that I always see that we don't buy the real art. We'll buy the print.
We did one year. It's right behind you.
Oh, that's right. But normally we would just buy the reprints or whatever, and it's like
the $40 reprints of it.
Yes. And what stinks is that we don't have any more wall space. We have art that we bought that's still in the plastic that we've never hung up.
No, the one I was talking about is that I have a Captain America Marvel piece that's signed by Stan Lee. That's behind where Michele is sitting right now, and that is like my of my collection. That is my piece that is the most valuable to me, and it wasn't even because of the price. It was because Stan Lee assigned it, and to me that meant more than anything. That we were able to make that work and get that for me. So it's a very unique piece, but it's like the most expensive piece of art I've ever bought in my lifetime.
It's the most expensive piece of art I've ever let you buy.
I know. And when times it got rough and I've told Michele I'm going to sell it, and she's like, "No, you're not going to sell it. I will break your arms if you sell it."
No, you're not.
So
sorry, you wanted it so badly, and this was years ago. So we're like, nope, you got to keep it.
Yeah. So that's my.
But I'll be curious to see what they have.
I will. I always like to see what they have and see what artists they have come out, because they usually get some pretty good artists out there, different Disney artists and such. So we will be there Friday again. So watch our social medias to see everything that we're going to be posting from there.
Because I will.
You will. Just a couple news stories from outside of Disney for the other parks in the area. So Universal has announced their Mardi Gras information.
Oh, yeah.
Which is It's a really fun time, Mardi Gras at Universal.
It's a good time.
They really do it up really,
Their parade
really good.
floats and the beads and the different food booths. I mean, they really do a good job with Mardi Gras.
And I know last year we were shocked. We had never gone to the Mardi Gras parade before. Last year we saw it, and I could not believe how long that parade is.
It is so long.
And they throw the beads, and you can actually do the dining package where you can be on one of the floats throwing beads to the crowd.
Chuck and Karen, Chuck told me this week that he is going to be on one of the floats.
Yes, so that's really cool to do that kind of stuff.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, you
I'd
just
like to whip beads at people.
You'd be, hey kid, and it's Universal, so it's okay.
Yeah, we don't have to be polite. We're just gonna whip beads at your face.
It's really cool though, and you want to collect your beads. I remember last year we were fighting over like other groups in the area. Everybody's trying to fight for that one strand of beads that come flying, and everybody wants it.
It's crazy because no, these are cheap plastic beads, and they're throwing them from a float, and you would think they were throwing cash.
Oh, you would.
The way people like are fighting over these beads.
I know, it's almost like they told you before. If you get this strand of beads, it's worth $100. If you get it. No, it's not.
No big
It's just
deal.
everybody wants as many as they can get, and it's all these little kids that can walk away with like 80 strands of beads.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. How
Or
many they
you
get.
know what annoys me? Okay, just sidebar again. Like when people are so the people that are on the floats, they're supposed to throw the beads. And when you see
And one strand is what they're told they can throw at a time.
well, one at a time.
Yes.
But I had seen last year like a guy that had a whole armful of them and wasn't throwing any. He's just looking at people.
He's just watching.
And it's almost it was almost like he was taunting people like, "Oh, you want one of these?"
Or he's waiting for his family.
I don't know what he was doing, but he was not passing them out. And there's people like jumping up in the air for the beads, and he's just sitting there looking, thinking, "Why are you on the float? Like, if you're not going to do your job, get off the float."
And then you got people like me who are really tall who just like basically pull the bead right out of the air when it goes flying over a crowd.
Yeah, that's one good thing. You have a high reach.
I do. I've got these long arms that can just grab them out of the midair.
And they do have a beignet booth.
And they do have beignet booth, which they're really good.
Their beignets are pretty
last
good,
year,
yeah.
and they were really good. So they did announce the concert series, and there's nobody who's like, I have to go see this year for the concerts.
No, yeah, I wasn't super excited.
Yeah,
about
so
it
just
this
run through
year.
them really quick. Just some of the bigger names that we know. T-Pain is one. He won the Masked Singer a few years back.
I might see that.
Joe Jonas from the Jonas Brothers will
You
be
gotta
there.
have all the brothers.
Which he's Mr. Disney, so it's like weird to see them there. Cool in the Gang.
Nah.
Scotty McCreery, who won American Idol, or
Yeah, it's
did he win
he's
it, or
country.
he was
I don't know if he might have been the runner-up. I don't remember.
Okay. Some of these other people, I don't know who they are, and I don't even want to try to butcher some of the names, but Foster the People is one of them. All Time Low, never heard of them. Lawrence, no. Coco Jones, not sure. who
No
that
idea.
is. DJ Pauly D.
Okay, I don't know who that
from
is.
the Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
He will be there. And then it's closing out on March 29th with TLC.
Yes, we know who that is.
And we saw them open for the New Kids on the Block a few years back.
Yes, we did.
So they will be there. But there's also another, so there's the blog of the concerts, and then there was another blog that came out this week that was kind of like the complete guide to everything happening at Mardi Gras. So in the show notes, you can click on either one of those and read more about Mardi Gras. But there's lots of great food. There's the parade every night. There's the bands.
It's a good time.
It's just a fun time. And you can even tell the employees at Universal have fun with this show, with this party.
Yeah, so I know that we'll go back more than once, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely for sure. We will go back as much as we can. We got another blog that a pickleball lounge opened in Orlando, which we've never played, but Golden Tate is one of the people who owns this pickleball lounge, who used to play for the Lions at one time. Yeah, I kind of want to go check it out. I've never played pickleball in my life, but I kind of want to go out and try it.
I'd be so tired.
I think we need to go try.
Maybe.
Would you guys want to see video of Michele playing pickleball? Because we can do that. We can make that happen.
I don't know.
SeaWorld announced that for the month of January, they have their free beer. So if
People love free beer.
they love it. So all you get is a free 7-ounce beer every day. You have to be 21 or over, of course, to get it, and it's included in the normal park admission. You don't even have to be a pass holder or anything. It's for anybody who goes to the park this month. So you just go to the.
Interesting. I wish I liked beer.
I know you can go get a 7-ounce beer, and you could have mine. So that'd be 14 ounces of beer.
Right? I don't like beer though.
You go with the right group of people who don't drink. And if you're the drinker, you could really have fun with that one.
Everybody could be handing you beer all day. We'll just drag you out of there at the end of the day.
Exactly. Another thing that came out this month at Universal is they are giving, for pass holders, there's a special new lanyard that came out that kind of reflects Epic Universe on it. The design of it. It's got the Chronos on it. So yeah, you might want to go get that if you have the opportunity to get over there. I know it's there's 2 different places. There's one in Islands of Adventure and there's one in the Studios Park. So if you read the blog, I'll tell you where to go pick that up. And then the last thing that we put out over the weekend was Chick-fil-A is coming to SeaWorld Orlando.
Yes.
Which they're already at Busch Gardens. There's a Chick-fil-A booth in Busch Gardens already. But now there's going to be a Chick-fil-A booth coming to SeaWorld. It's going to be, of course, it's going to be a much shorter menu. I know the one in Tampa only has like the basic chicken sandwich, and then I think they had the nuggets. And then the waffle fries, of course.
Do you remember years and years and years and years ago that they had one at Cedar Point?
That's like the third time we mentioned Cedar Point on the show. I think we're needing a Cedar Point visit. But yes, I do remember that.
And the line was super long, and they were really expensive for park
Yes.
food. But then again, nowadays, probably not so much because everything's expensive.
Cedar Point was always expensive for the food. That's why the dining plan at Cedar Point was a good deal, because you could eat all day long for like $35.
Yeah, some parks, it's weird because some parks are cheaper to get into, but once you get in, they price gouge you on everything.
Oh, they do.
So if you want to eat or have anything to drink, it's going to cost you.
But so just Chick-fil-A, I know a lot of people love Chick-fil-A, and when you can go to the park and get Chick-fil-A and you get your park in the same day, it's kind of a good visit for you. I just don't know if it's the same quality. I mean, I'm assuming it's the same quality of food, but is it prepared the same way? Does it taste the same?
Maybe it won't be as good. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just curious. You know, they could just sell Chick-fil-A sauce in the parks, and everybody would be happy with that.
Sure, just give order.
Because you could put it on
fries.
any chicken.
True, and a lot of people dip their fries in Chick-fil-A sauce.
Mm-hmm. I love the Chick-fil-A sauce. That's why you buy the bottles now.
Yeah, you can buy. See, okay, but this could work either way, because we have like almost Chick-fil-A used to be a novelty years ago. Because I mean, we'd have to go to Ohio to
we'd have to go to the mall in Toledo, which
Yes.
is where we would go to
have Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
I still remember that so well. But now the Chick-fil-A is popping up everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, I have a thought. I'm just trying to push it through. Do you want to go to a park, a theme park, and have something that you can have any day of the week? Or would you want to try something in the park that's park food per se, that's something that you don't just go through the drive-through?
I've never had park food.
It's that good?
That's that good that I would, because I do remember another one at Cedar Point was when they had Subway in Cedar Point back in the day, and then they had Pink's hot dogs.
They did, and that was good though.
That was
Their
really
onion
good.
rings were fantastic.
They were great. But you tend to gravitate towards those establishments, even though it's a little bit more, at least you know the quality is going to be somewhat better than just like chicken tenders and fries.
Yeah, and sometimes park food is just terrible.
It is. And we've had our share of it at parks here in Florida.
Oh my God.
And I'm not even saying Disney or Universal, which will leave you to the one in Tampa Bay where we went. The food just, I don't know, it just never hits good.
No, and I noticed that, like, not to get on a tangent, but the prices for park food go up, but the quality goes down.
And it's always the walk-ups.
Always the walk-ups.
Always the walk-ups. And
just god awful.
Yeah, it's like pay a little bit more, you get to sit down food, you get to take a break for a little while. But some people, when they come here though, they don't want to take the hour to go sit and eat food. They want to get most out of the park itself, so they'll just eat the walk-up food that's really quick, and it's not that great, but it's just something to put in your system so you're not feeling nauseous being in the hot sun all day.
If I could get a petition going, change.org maybe, I would petition for better fries at Disney walk-ups.
The ones, if they could bring the sci-fi dine-in fries,
Oh, the steak fries.
those are the best fries, I think.
Yeah, but like over at let's say Cosmic Rays
Yes.
or any place else, their fries are not good. I mean, I have to put a ton of ketchup on it, and they're still not good.
Yeah.
And I love French fries.
You could buy the cheese sauce that used to be free.
Yeah. Don't bring up sore subjects. But I just think their fries are, they're just not good.
They're just okay fries. They're nothing.
I've had fries better almost everywhere.
But do you remember when it used to be McDonald's fries at Magic Kingdom?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Which is now a beignet booth.
Among other things.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God, man, McDonald's a long time ago. Just the fries.
Yeah. That's all they had was the fries. You just walk up to that booth and they'd be served in the McDonald's red box.
But I do remember they weren't as good as regular McDonald's fries.
No, they don't. And I don't know why that is. You think that would be something. It's like these fries, this oil, deep fry them for this amount of time.
Yeah,
You think it would
very
be
weird.
simple.
I don't know. Sorry about that. We just totally went off.
No, that's okay. So I have a question for you. And talking about all this food made me think of another question for you, but I'm going to leave that one for another time.
All right.
So my question this time is, so they announced all the new cruise ships coming.
All right.
Disney did. And we're only 2 ships into the Wish class currently. So we have the Wish, we have the Treasure, and we have the other ones coming, I think the Destiny. And we don't know the name of the 4th ship yet. But I'm assuming they're going to be kind of the same layout as the Wish and the Treasure. So on the Wish, you have the Hyperspace Lounge in that area. On the Treasure, you have the fantastic Haunted Mansion Parlor.
Yeah.
So if that same space is going to exist on the next 2 ships, what would you want to see? What type of lounge would you like to see? Haunted Mansion is phenomenal.
Yep.
That is such a great space. But if you had to pick another type of lounge based on, it could be out of park rides, attractions, or it could be movies, what would you like to see on a Disney cruise ship in that lounge? What? And you can't say Rapunzel and Tangled.
Why?
Because that's not a lounge.
No, I was gonna say the Snuggly Duckling.
Oh, that would be good. Okay, I'll let you say that one because that would be fantastic.
The Snuggly Duckling would be awesome in that spot.
I didn't even think about that. That is a really good one, actually.
I know. And I believe, so I was looking at Facebook memories, and I want to say that the Magic years ago had a lounge that was themed for the Snuggly Duckling, but very lightly themed. And I don't know if it's still there because I don't remember seeing it.
I remember seeing it, but that is the ship that does have the Tangled dinner, the Rapunzel dinner.
Yeah. But yeah, Snuggly Duckling would be a really fun one.
What it was on that ship, I think, is that the one bar turns into the Snuggly Duckling one night on that ship.
And it was underwhelming.
It was a very
like, I'm talking like have the whole thing, like the wooden tables and
the dance show
and the dance and then like the duck sign on the outside and
and the guy in the diaper.
Yeah, and have ruffians and thugs.
I think that would be fun. Actually,
it would be so much fun.
So to do that as a lounge would be really cool to do that.
You could do like sing-alongs at night or something. I think that would be really fun.
Okay.
That's what the top of my head I would choose. But if we were gonna go for an attraction, because like the Haunted Mansion, then there's Hyperspace.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness!
But the mansion one just blows every other one out of the water. The amount of detail in it.
Oh heck yeah!
So it'd be very hard to pick. I think it'd be hard to pick our attraction, but I mean, you might have one in mind.
Maybe a Pirates of the Caribbean.
That would be fun.
Type of thing, like a Tortuga Tavern, but like real Tortuga Tavern. You know what I mean?
Cool, yeah.
Like pirate themed, or I don't know. Like I think those are 2 good ones. I'm sure if I sat here for another 10 minutes, I could come up with quite a few.
I know, because I didn't even give you any inclination of what the question was going to be this week.
No.
So you pulled that one right out of the air. That you must have been thinking that the Snuggly Duckling would be one you'd want.
Well, of course. I there's not enough Tangled. And do you know? So we were walking in Magic Kingdom and the other day, and we walked past the Tangled bathrooms, and I heard somebody else walking with someone like opposite way, and they're like, see, and she only gets a bathroom. Like, so it's not just me that feels that Rapunzel gets a bad deal, because I mean, and even the photo op is in front of the toilets, not in front of the actual toilets.
Yeah, they actually take you into the stall and they open the door so you see the toilet, and then you have the lantern floating above.
You stand on the toilet and hold the lantern,
and you flush at the right time, and it gives the lights up or something.
Oh
like
my god! But no, because the bathroom doors are right there.
They are,
and it just, they could have done so much more. But it's just, I think it's funny that when you hear somebody else say the same thing, I wanted to say, like, I know, right?
I think a lot of people probably say it. And you get so much good representation of Rapunzel out in Disneyland.
Or, the Tangled ride overseas. Like, they could do something like that here. But, yeah, so I have to say Snuggly Duckling.
Okay. Very good. I like that answer, actually. I didn't even think of that one. So.
Yeah, I like it, too.
Okay. Well, we will accept that one. So, is there anything else you want to talk about this week? Did we cover everything pretty much going on?
I think that's all.
That's it? I know the show has kind of been, I don't know why, I feel off my game this show.
I do too. I feel like we just were very like pulling stuff out of the air.
But we it still had flow.
I know.
I should have been better prepared with my menus, but that's okay.
That's okay. I don't think anybody's going to complain.
I hope not.
All complaints can be sent we're sorry.
You can send all complaints to Greg at thefanaticsblog.com or Fantasyland News. I'm sorry. Send it to Fantasyland News. Greg at fantasylandnews.com. He'll be happy to answer all your complaints.
All your complaints.
But for anything you want to say that's really nice, you can send them to Scott and Michele at
Michele at themainstreetmouse.com. Michele with 1 L, please.
or two L's, or your email won't go through.
Michele with 1 L, not 2, or your email will not go through.
There you go. That's how you say it. Okay, so our sponsors, I just want to mention MEI Mouse Fan Travel. I think that free dining offer is still out there too, if you're interested in that. I know we talked about it last week, but yeah, Disney's still offering that free dining offer. So if you're interested in that for this year, reach out to our friends at MEI Mouse Fan Travel. They will help you get that special. And they can also tell you about other specials that might be out there right now that I'm not. I admit it, we're not up to date.
We're not travel agents, so we don't know all the current deals.
And I'd rather send you to the best travel agents out there, which is MEI.
We'll send you to the best because they can take care of you as where we cannot.
They will. So if you go to our website, there's links all over the site for MEI Mouse Fan Travel. Becky and her team are phenomenal with what they do. They really are. They will save you money. They will do whatever they can to help you out with you planning the perfect trip, no matter where it is, Disney, Royal Caribbean, Universal, whatever you want to do, they will help you out. So reach out to them. They will help you. If they ask you where you heard about them, make sure you let them know it's from the Main Street Mouse, so that they know that you're getting traffic from us. Our other sponsor, Kingdom Strollers, I just want to mention them. They're the stroller scooter partner of the Main Street Mouse, and they can help you with any kind of rental need you need when you're here in Florida. They will deliver and they will pick up the equipment from wherever you're staying. So if you're staying at a resort, if you're staying at a house, wherever it is, they will help you out. So you can reach out to them at kingdomstrollers.com and let them know also the Main Street Mouse is where you heard about them. I'm all done then. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let Michele close out our show.
Okay, well, don't forget to, again, this weekend, Friday, follow our social media for coverage of Festival of the Arts over at Epcot. You can find the Main Street Mouse on everything. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter. We have a YouTube channel. We do have a TikTok. We are everywhere under the Main Street Mouse. So follow our socials if you want to get all the scoop from this year's festival and more, because I post up all the time. So yeah, don't forget to do that. And if you haven't followed us on all our social channels, please do. That would be amazing. And my show also, don't forget, Daydream Believing podcast comes out on Thursday evening. And if you haven't started listening yet, there's all kinds of episodes, and they're pretty good if I do say so myself. So on that note, I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, magical, amazing week ahead, and we will see you real soon.
Our trip around the Magic Kingdom is almost complete. I can't thank you enough for spending part of your day with me. And I hope you've enjoyed your journey as much as I've appreciated being a part of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please gather your belongings, watch your head and step as you exit, and take small children by the hand.
On behalf of our entire flight crew, thanks for soaring with us.
Now I will raise the safety bar, and a ghost will follow you home. Ha ha!